Hello, my name is MLaraRamos. This is the counseling video presentation for the Theories of Counseling course. I'm here with my partner, Mallory Thompson. For this video, I will be playing the role of the therapist, and Mallory will be playing the role of my client, Anna. So this is Anna Smith. Anna reached out to me for counseling to help her with stress management at home. Anna is a full-time second grade teacher. She has two children of her own, and Anna's mother occasionally helps Anna with the kids. So Anna is coming into therapy with feelings of exhaustion, possible burnout, and overall she's feeling unmotivated. As her therapist, I will be using an approach based on family systems theory. And the counseling plan includes bringing in her children and mom during future therapy sessions, forming a relationship, assessment, enactments, genogram, family sculpting, followed by hypothesis and sharing meaning. And goals for our counseling sessions are decreased family conflict, increased family connections, improving stress management, regaining a sense of purpose and joy for Anna, and recapturing a sense of spiritual well-being. Okay. So hi, Anna. Welcome back. Last time we met, you were teaching summer school during the summer to help make ends meet. You were also parenting your kids who were home from the summer and managing everything there at home. And now school is back in session, has started again. And so I wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing. How are you feeling today?
Honestly, I am exhausted. I spend all day teaching and then I come home to my kids and they're bouncing off the walls. I just feel like I don't have anything left to give. I just want to lay down, turn the lights off, go to bed, and listen to rain sounds.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. It sounds like you're just giving so much of yourself at work and at home. And so your energy tank is just running on empty. And at the same time, I can also hear how much you love your children, how much you care for them, and how much you want to be fully present with them.
I do. I really do. But instead of being present and being with them, I just sit, sulk, and feel guilty. I'm so tired that I sleep in on Sundays, and then when I finally get up, I run errands. I look at the time, I've missed church. I couldn't even watch it on TV. I feel like I miss connecting with God, and I just feel like I'm failing spiritually and as a mom.
Well, thank you so much, Anna, for being honest about your feelings and sharing those openly with me. Is it okay with you if we stop and reframe some of these things that you're sharing with me?
Of course.
So, what if instead of seeing this exhaustion as a failure, we saw it as your body and your spirit signaling to you that you need care? Resting is not a weakness, it's wisdom. And it's God's way of telling you that He built you with limits.
I've never thought about it that way. I'm usually just conflicted because I feel like I'm not doing enough, but then my body is like, it just needs to lay down.
I hear you. And in family systems theory, we say that when one part of the system is depleted, the whole family can feel it. It affects everyone. When you care for yourself, even if it's in small ways, you strengthen the whole system. So all of your family is strengthened. And you model balance for your children. That's not selfish, that's leadership. So, whenever we think about how God created you with limits, when we reframe it that way, there's a spiritual discipline that you may also recognize or remember as a commandment. And I realize that you have so much on your plate. You are a working mom, you're a teacher leading a bunch of young second graders, and you try to come home and do the best that you can for your own children. Yet, whenever we remember how God created the earth, He also took a day to rest.
Right.
So, practicing the Sabbath or practicing a day of rest may feel like a goal that is super out of reach for you right now with everything that you have going on. But what if we could reframe those moments, those signals of exhaustion, to signal maybe needing just a Sabbath moment?
Hmm. A Sabbath moment? Like, I would take a moment instead of the whole Sabbath day. I've never thought about it like that. A moment of exhaustion could be signaling to me to take a moment with God, though.
Yes, exactly. So even though taking a whole day of rest might feel like something that is just not possible for you right now because you on Sundays you had mentioned last time that you go to the grocery store. Those are the days where you kind of do laundry, you pack some lunches. Um, you could take a moment to look at that signal of exhaustion as, hey, let me connect with God. So as we work towards managing your stress, we can reframe that signal of exhaustion to spur a moment of connection with God. What do you think about that? What might that look like for you?
Well, maybe on the drive home, I could listen to my favorite praise and worship songs. I could really use that time to decompress, connect with God, surrender my burdens from the day, just to Him, just a moment between me and Him on the way home. I could ask Him to help me find my rest in Him and to help me prepare my heart to deal with my kids, to want to deal with my kids. And after a long day of work, my patience is just really worn thin. So I think that will be something that I could try and something that could work.
Wow, that's a wonderful idea, Anna. Using your commute from your long day at work to decompress and connect with God before you get home. Hey, that might even help you deal with all of that stress in the traffic. And instead of worrying about other people driving like maniacs, using that time to focus on God and connect with Him. And I hear you talking about how you're stressed when you think about your kids' behavior and coming home and not knowing what you're going to be dealing with whenever you walk through that door. So let's talk about that.
Okay, that helps me see it differently. But my kids' behavior, it's overwhelming. I walk through the door and it's like I don't get a break. It's mom, I need this, mom, I need that, mom, I can't find this, mom, I can't find that. And these are things that I also already set out. So I just really never get that moment. And when I can't assist in the moment or when I like need to take that time to kind of think so I can help them, they just they explode. They get really frustrated and they start acting out for attention, even though the attention is on them. And then it just makes me shut down because I have nothing to say. I don't know what to say.
I totally hear you. So you walk home, you walk through that door, and you see them just acting out. And if it's okay with you, we can also look at their behavior and maybe try to reframe that in a different light. So, what if we don't see that as acting out, but as a way of them telling you or communicating stress to you? So, we could reframe that behavior not as defiance, but as a signal. So, maybe they're trying to say, Mom, we need connection with you.
Hmm. So instead of them trying to drive me crazy, it's really them asking for me, but in their own way.
Exactly. Yes. So whenever we see behavior as communication, it opens the door for us to respond differently. That's one of our goals, helping you and your kids feel more connected and not at odds.
That actually makes me feel lighter.
Awesome. So good. Now that we've talked about reframing and used some of reframing strategies to think about your rest, to think about your exhaustion, and also your kids' behavior, I'd like to also jump into a different technique with you called circular questioning. It helps us to look at family patterns from different perspectives. So let's start simple. Whenever your children are acting out after school, how do you usually respond?
I usually yell at them, or if I'm totally decompressed, I tell them to go to their rooms because I don't have the energy for anything else. I just need them to go.
Yeah, you're tired. So whenever you yell at them, how do they respond?
Mm. They either yell back or they shut down and then they stomp off to their rooms.
And whenever they go off to their rooms, how does that leave you feeling?
I'm guilty. I feel guilty. And then I'm like sad because I know that I pushed them away instead of helping them. Because if I wasn't overwhelmed, I feel like for me, this could be like an easy fix or that's something I could handle. So it's mixed emotions.
That's very insightful. Now let's imagine this. If I asked your children, what does mom look like when she's really tired? What do you think they would say?
They probably say I'm cranky or that I don't want to play.
And if I asked your mom, who helps you sometimes with the kids, what do you think that she would say?
She'd probably say, Anna needs a break because she notices when I'm worn out.
So, from their perspective, they see you as stretched thin. Now, another question. If I asked your children, how does your behavior affect your mom? What might they say?
They might say they make me stressed or that they're too much.
So they see you, they see that exhaustion, they see their behavior and that impact on them. So if they believed that they made you stressed or that they're too much, how might that shape the way they see themselves in your family?
Maybe they'd feel like a burden, and that breaks my heart.
That's powerful awareness, Anna. But let's flip it. If I ask them instead, what makes mom the happiest? What do you think they would say?
They'd probably say when we watch movies together or when we pray at night, because that's when I'm not too tired.
That's beautiful. If your children believed we make mom happy when we connect instead of we stress mom out, how would that change things in your house?
That would change everything. They know that I love being with them.
Exactly. So, using this technique of circular questioning shows us how shifting one belief can change the whole system. Instead of the story being we're too much, it becomes we bring mom joy. So, we talked about your spiritual side already also when and talked about you connecting with God a little bit after you said you felt distant from God. So, and we also we did the reframing, we did circular questioning to help shift the system. So, if we could set two small goals, first for when your children act out, to pause and remind yourself this is their way of asking for connection. Second, we also talked about spiritual goals. So, taking a moment to connect with God. And you mentioned your commute. So, on your way, on your drive home. And then maybe also you talked about doing a prayer at night before going to bed. So, we talked about these small goals that we could use to help you to work on your stress management at home. What do you think about those small goals?
That feels manageable. I think I could handle that. I think I could try to handle that for sure.
Well, that's awesome, Anna. That's wonderful. Remember, change doesn't happen by fixing everything all at once. It happens when one piece of the system shifts. And by reframing your exhaustion and using connection moments, connection with God, connection with your kids, you're already helping your family to find new patterns. So, those were some of our goals for today, and we'll continue to explore these patterns in our future sessions. And hopefully, next time we can bring in your children, bring in your mom, and work on other techniques like genograms, enactments. But I look forward to working with you and helping you and your family together.
Thank you. I feel lighter already. I feel like there's hope at the end of the tunnel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.